Hello everyone, uh, myself Kirish with CATIA tutorials. I'm here with a new session on CATIA, that is getting started with sketching. Agenda here is to deal with the CATIA sketching tools, okay, how to use them, what are all the ways to use them in a shortest form or in shortcut form. Geometric constraints and dimensional constraints, how to use them, fully defining the sketch, and we'll see a few of the exercises as you could see at your right. So we'll cover a few of the exercises, okay. Let's get started with the workbench. So if you are new to this workbench, so I'll be having the CATIA icon, or else you can use the Windows search tool to just search for this. You just need to double click on this icon. So once you do that, at the background, it will load the required applications at the background. So this is how the CATIA workbench looks when you open it for the first time. Okay, you'll be having the product tab, the filter trees. You can use the start and mechanical design and part design. You do have the other workbenches like sheet generative, mechanical surface and generative shape design and all. Okay, I want to deal with the part design now. So you can use the new from file and choose the part. Okay, so once you do that, the part design template will be active. You can use the default planes and the XYZ planes from the filter tree. Okay, so you can customize it. Let's say your user interface will be different depending upon the which version you are using, P1, P2, P3. So you can go to tools and options. From there, from the general tab, you can switch to P3 and P2. So if you are using P3, you will not be having the default plane at the center and your filter tree will be different. Okay, I'm using the P2 version for now. Okay, so now how to create the sketches. So you can select the default plane from here as well as from the graphics. Okay, so once you select it, you can directly use the sketch tool. Okay, you'll be into the Sketchup workbench now. Now we don't have any tools. Okay, so initially you'll be having it, so I have removed it. So by using view and toolbars, you can activate them. So let's say I need the profile tools. The same thing, you can use other tools like operation tools like trimming, symmetry, cut and all. The same thing, others, sketch toolbar, and you can have constraints. Okay, so these are the main things I'm going to use. So if you want to reset entire user interface, you can do it by using the options and master reset. Yeah, so now I'll start with the basic Sketchup workbench. Okay, you can refer the sketch as you could see at your left corner. Okay, this I need to design. So you can use the line tool, but the line tool will help you only to create a single line at a time. As you could see, only one line like this. After that, you can create one more line like this. So a single line. Okay, so this will not help you to create the continuous profiles. So to do that, what you can do is you can delete this, you can deal with the profile tool. Okay, from this you can create a continuous sketch. I'll draw the rough sketch now. As you could see at your left corner, the same sketch I'm doing it. Okay, you can use the sketch tools and you can see the dimensions there, right? You can even mention the dimensions as well. So even this line I need. Okay, now you can select all the sketches. I have drawn only half of this, so you can hold the control and remove the line selection. You can use the mirror tool. Okay, and then just select the axis or a line according to which you want to mirror. Now the smart dimension tool from the constraints, if you just click once, you can able to define only one time dimension 40. It's done. So the tool will be inactive. So if you want to use it continuously, just double click on it. So it will be active until unless you turn it off. Okay, like this. So this should be 30. You can simply double click on it once you drag the dimension. Okay, the same thing for this. So this should be 20. It is already 20. Now the sketch is fully defined. So by using the status bar, you can cross verify the same whether the sketch is fully defined or not. So you can use this option, that is construction geometry, to just turn that particular line into construction. You can see all the lines are ISO constraint. Okay, this is how we can create the sketch. Now we'll see one more. Okay, you can delete these axes as well. So once you create the mirror, these reference temporary axes will be created. This is snap to point. You can turn it off. These are the geometrical constraints and the dimensional constraint showcases. If you want to automatically dimension everything, you can activate and you can define it, but not needed now. This is the sketch which I need to create now. So I'll start with the profile again. I'll draw the rough sketch. So this line like this. You can press escape, okay, to come out of this, whatever the tool you are using. Remember that. Okay, and right click and select also will help you to do the same. So I need the circle. I'll draw it somewhere. You can even refer the references. You can hold the control, select these two, and you don't have the geometrical constraints. It's a geometric element. You can simply select it, the point will be created, or else you can use this geometrical constraints tab. So from here, coincident. Okay, the point is active. If you want, you can delete it later. Hold the control, select these two. You can use this, not this one. Constraint definition. Okay, this is done. Now, once you're done with the geometrical constraints, you need to define the dimensions. So you can mention the value. The diameter is 40, as radius is 20, and this is 40. Just select the line, drag, double click, change the dimension. Select the line, drag out, place it, double click, change the dimension like this. Okay. Same thing for this. It is 30, and still the sketch is underdefined. You could see the green color line shows these lines are ISO constrained and remaining are under constraint. You can draw the line again. Okay, now you can drag this one and you can see what exactly is missing. The dimension is missing, that is 20 mm. I need to define for this. Just select the line, dimension, double click for 20. Okay, so this is fully defined, everything is in green. So you can use this tools, that is quick frame, will help you to deal with this. You can use other tools as well. So for now I'll use the quick frame. Okay, yeah, so this is another basic. So I'll go ahead the one more quite advanced sketch. Now instead of doing a trial and error method, drawing the rough sketch, what you can do is you can start with the manual dimensioning at a time by using the sketch tools. Let's say I'll use the profile tool. You can drag it up from the origin, and you can use the tab to switch to jump to the length L20. Okay, like this. So same thing in the sketch tools. Once you're done with this, you can just press tab to switch to the length, and you can define the dimension there. Okay, that is 15, and it will be 15. You can just place it however you want, like this. Same thing at the bottom, it should be 10. It's vertical taking, so this shouldn't be the thing. You can change it to length later. Same thing again, 15, but this will take a bit of time to just deal with this dimensioning process. Okay, remember that. 20 again. Yep. 10. Yeah, you're done. So you can just close the sketch now. Okay, what it shows, extra dimension is added, that vertical, so I need to delete that. So now this is fully defined. Okay, So this is another way. If you want, you can follow this traditional method. Don't recommend this. Now this is the another sketch you could see. So I'll deal with this. So to do this, again I'll use the symmetric method. So instead of creating entire sketch, I can create only half of this. The CATIA workbench is very helpful to deal with this kind of stuff. Okay, so let me just draw the rough sketch like this. Okay, sometime if your workbench is rotated, you can use this normal too. It will align your workbench with respect to the planes. Why is it? This is the rough sketch which I'm looking for, only half of it, and I do need the circle at this location. Now I'll select all the entities, just drag those and just hold the control, remove that, and just select the mirror, just select the line. According to that, it will mirror. Okay, now the dimensioning. From here to here it is 70, and the total distance from here to here it is. Can right click and delete if your dimension goes wrong. This length, it is 40. Okay, and then yeah, so from this to this it is 30. This is 15, and remaining thing is to deal with this circle. So from center point to this it is 10, and then from this again center point to vertical distance it is 10 again. So as it is related to symmetry, so everything will move according to the symmetry how defined. The relation will be automatically active. So the diameter is 10. That's all. So the sketch is completely fully defined. Okay, so this is how you can simply drag the dimensions and place it wherever you want. Yeah, I'll go ahead with the one more. This one looks okay. The small one, same thing. You can remove these reference axes and you can start with the half of the profile instead of drawing everything. I'll draw only half sketch here. From here you could see the rough sketch. I always recommend you to just deal with the rough sketch first, because giving the dimensions and again drawing it will take you a lot of time. So always remember, better start with the rough sketch. So once you're done with this, simply right click on the line which you want to align it. It is not aligned properly. You can use the horizontal like this. Select all, just remove this one, mirror, select the line. Now you can use the dimensions. Double click on the smart dimension and start dealing with the dimension constraints. So this is 10. So if you define only one side, automatically the other side will be adjusted. 15 this is, and from this point to that point it is 20 actually. Okay, so the height is 10 from this to this point, and again this height is 10 from this point to this edge. Yeah, finally from here to this it is same thing, 10 again. The sketch is still underdefined. You could see the white lines. Magenta and red colors shows the overdefined. Okay, this is 30. That's all. Okay, so these are quite simple one. So I'll go ahead with the bit advanced. This one, could see. So in this case, I'll only draw half quarter, okay, only the quarter, not exactly the symmetry. I'll draw only this much. Okay, so now once I'm done with this much, I'll use the same mirror tool to just replicate the same this side, and I'll select everything, and again these two I'll remove, hold the control and just select and just this is actually symmetry, okay, not mirror. So can define the dimensions now. Right click and select vertical dimensions if you are having the normal distance. So this is done. Same thing, the total distance from here to this edge is 15. So as it is symmetry, everything will change accordingly. This distance, right click and make it horizontal this time. It's done. Okay, so still this distance from here to here, it is 20, as you could see at the left corner. Yeah, now this time you can simply escape and drag the lines to check what you need to do. So this should be inside like this, and the dimension is 5 mm. So what you can do is just select the line and the edge and define the dimension. Okay, it should be 5. Yeah, so this is how you can just deal with this kind of sketches. Quite simple, right? Instead of wasting time to just define each and every dimensions, just create the symmetry with quarter section. Now, bit complicated. We'll try the sketch. Okay, always refer the center. So I'll start with the circles from the center. Remember that every time I suggest you to refer the origin so that you can reduce the constraints. So I'll simply give the random dimensions. I'm not gonna assign the same value right now. So this is again one more circle. I need this one as well, right? And I do need the rectangle at the bottom, right? And even the lines. I'll simply draw 2 lines for reference, like this, and one more. And then the rectangle at the bottom. So relations hasn't taken for the lines and the rectangle. So hold the control and define the constraint definition and tangency, and same thing for this. Now the dimensioning. So you can start with the diameter 100, inside is 50, and then you can define the remaining dimensions. Okay, the small diameter is radius 45, then it is 19, and this is 150, distance 300. Okay, now what else I need to do? So from the origin, you cannot select the origin. Okay, you can select the vertical or horizontal axis. Remember that if you try to select the point, sometimes it won't give. You can simply select the horizontal line for the reference. If I select this circle, what happens is it will take the maximum distance. Can even swap the location, but if you swap it, it will take the inappropriate dimension. It will just switch to another side. So for that, just refer the horizontal line and the rectangle line, top line, and define the dimension. It is 120. Okay, and I need to assign the relations to these two. It is coincident, and the same thing this side. Just you need to click OK to apply the first one, and then you can start with the second one like this. The user interface is very friendly. You can just use your toolbars wherever you want, and you can just start building it. CATIA is all about shortcuts. You can just specify the shortcuts and you can work on. Okay, yeah. So dimensioning from here to here, we know the dimension. It is 96. So the outside from here to here it is 10. Okay, same thing this side. Now still the sketch is undefined. The length, I know it is 25. Now what I can do is you can trim the unwanted sketches, or else you can adjust the sizes. Okay, these two should be tangent to each other. You can refer the same, and you can even adjust the size by simply dragging these lines. Again, it is tangent, so if I do the tangency, you could see everything has changed. This is fine. So what you can do is you can use the quick erase tool. Just double click on it to activate continuously. So I'll just remove this. You can hold the control and right click, zoom in, just drag, will help you to just zoom in. Okay, so I don't want these, and even this one this side. Okay, and now dimensioning. You can see it is moving. The tangency is missing at the bottom circle, so this and this I need to define the tangency. Okay, but still can try to move the lines. You could see from the origin to this vertical line it is coincident. Okay, for these two it is coincident. I'll do the same. Okay, and now see it has changed. Now we have defined the radius value, but still it gone. So what you can do is you can define the tangency between these two, and you can assign the dimension, because we had assigned the dimension diameter. Right now for this arc we just need to assign the radius. It is 45. Okay, I think the sketch is fully defined. You can check once ISO constraint. Okay, so this is how you can deal with this. Bit complicated. Now this one, so same thing again. I'll start with the bottom rectangle first, and then 3 circles. 2 are adjacent and 1 is at the top. You can do that one, or else you can start with the origin with the circle. So for me this is better. I'll simply refer a rectangle like this, and then the circles. I'm just drawing the rough sketch. Okay, this is my way of designing. So these are my references now. So next thing is to define the dimension from vertical reference axis to the edge. It is 12.5. Total length is 25. Same thing this side. And the height is 12. Okay, so once you're done with this, you can define the coincident between circle and the point of the rectangles, the top points. Hold the control and just select this and point and define constraints, that is coincident. Same thing for this side. You can use the same method to do for this as well. First you need to click OK for this, and then you can just select the point and drag it like this, adjust it accordingly. Next thing is you can drag the circle. Before that, I'll just define the dimension. The radius is 20, in the sense it is 40. Drag it down. I can assign the tangency relation between these two and these two. Okay, now still the dimensions are missing for these. The radius is 50 for both. So before that, I'll assign the dimension. So from this point to this top line, it is 65. Can mention the same. Okay. Now, before assigning the dimension, what I'll do is I'll trim this part. If I assign the dimension, diameter it will take no. Double click and just remove this unwanted part and use the dimension to assign the dimensions. That is 50. This side also the same thing. Okay. So this is how you can just deal with the Sketchup workbench, and these are the few tools how you need to start working on. So you can trim unwanted things here. So that's all about this. Okay, so you can just trim this. It's done. It is fully defined. Okay, I hope this is clear what and all we have done. So this is the basic session. So finally we'll go with the summary. We'll see what and all we have covered. So we have gone through the sketching tools. We have seen how to use them properly, and operation tools and the profile tool and circles and all, and fully defining the sketches. Green lines indicates they're fully defined, white underdefined, agenda or orange or red color will indicate it is overdefined. Okay, you have seen the few exercises as well. Yep, that's all about this session. Thank you all for joining, and please do like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned. Thank you all.